Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Potato. This is Factorio Undefeatable. And in the last episode, we pretty much got our production of electric engine units, and then we managed to set up our very own robot frame assembly area. And at the moment, we seem to have acquired a couple of frames, so not too shabby if I do say so myself. Okay. That's one bit of robot that we have completed. We have two other bits to go. One circuit board, 8 basic electronic components, and 3 transistors are needed to make the robot brain, or the construction robot brain, should I say, because that's what we're trying to make here. And then the construction robot tool is just steel and gears. Okay, so I'm going to say that this area up here is going to be dedicated to robot building. I don't quite know... Why do I keep on doing that? I don't quite know why I want this area to be dedicated to robot building, but it's gonna be. It's gonna be. Let's go up a little bit higher. Alright, about this high, I think. Okay, so we're eventually gonna extend this wall upwards. I mean, not at the moment, but we will eventually. I'm just sort of future-proofing this. Let me get a splitter to show you what I mean. Then we're gonna have a splitter here. And then we're going to have this come down. And this is going to be the construction robot manufacturing area. Like, from here downwards. That's pretty much all the space that we're dedicating to construction robots. So not a huge amount of space, but it should be absolutely fine. Now, if we could stick some factory buildings, assembly building thingamabobbers in this area and start making the robot brains, then that would be pretty darn cool. Because we've got transistors here. We've got whatchamacallits. We do not have the circuits. The circuit boards, I mean, these are the electronic circuits, right? And they're completely different, I'm thinking, right? Or are they? No, in fact, we have the circuit boards here as well. The only problem is that we don't have tin, I think? Is it tin that we're missing from the circuit board construction? Yeah, it is tin. I knew it was tin. Why are we not getting tin through here? We've got tin on the belts, it's just that we have not connected the belts together. That's the problem. I was thinking, because we did sort the tin crisis in the last episode. Like, we fixed it. We did. I know we did. I was there. But, apparently I had forgotten to connect that belt up again. Fantastic. We should probably do that since we're here, actually. I have no idea why these belts were severed to begin with, but they were, and now I've got to fix them. Let's connect up the copper. Where is all of our copper going, by the way? Like, have we got any copper? Ah, our copper has also been stopped in its tracks. We should probably fix that. Also, are we almost out of iron? Because I'm seeing less and less iron on the belts. Yeah, we're almost out of iron. Oh, goodness gracious me. This is not a very good position to be in, chums. This is not a very good position to be in. Alright, let's restore copper first. Man, I've been fucking around with too many belts recently. That's the problem. Like, we're fine for copper. Copper, we've got shit tons of copper, quite frankly. We have shit tons of copper. But unfortunately, it just wasn't connected. So let's get copper connected again. Yeah, this area is taking in a lot of iron, which isn't really that much of a problem, I guess, but it's an issue. Okay, let's see what we can do about this. We need a bunch of assembly machines. Let's get a bunch of assembly machines set up. And let's get rid of that stuff. Yeah, let's get a couple of these bad boys. Yeah, that should be fine. Good, 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 good. A little bit of iron, a little bit of cheeky iron, just because I need it. Because we're going to need a few assembly machines, we really are. I mean, not tons, but enough. We've got inserters. No, we have no inserters. We have nowhere near enough inserters for what we actually need. Probably got enough belt. So, I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is enough materials to do what we want to do. Okie doke. Let's see about this. Okay, we're gonna need to extend these 3 belts upwards. Where's the steel belt? The steel belt is here already. That's fine. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. That's completely the wrong way. Why on earth am I doing that? I honestly have no idea. I honestly have no idea why I even turned that belt around. It was a little bit ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's gonna be the battery belt. Let us do this. Yeah, let's try and get something like this set up. So we get... Oh, for fuck's sake. I knew... I fucking checked to see if I had belt. I had like 200 bits of belt. And I've placed 3 tracks for like 20 meters. And I'm fucking all out of belt. Ah, goodness gracious me. Alright, again. I'm gonna stock up on literally like 1, 2, 3... 3,500. 350 bits of bloody belt. I get emotional about these things, as you can probably tell. I get annoyed about these things. Okay. What the hell was even the recipe? 1 circuit board, electronic components, transistors. Cool. Transistors and circuit boards can go on the same belt, I guess. Like, there's no need to have anything other than that. Take this up, extend this out. Yeah, and we'll do that. Fucking hate picking up transistors, but we've honestly got like tons of transistors. We're fine for transistors. I'm not gonna worry about them. Okay. Let's split this off here. It's not intentional. It's not intentional. Okay. And belt, underground belt, yes. Here to here. There we go. Good job, everyone. Good darned job. Okay, so there's not going to be many circuit boards coming through here, which is a little bit annoying because a lot are being dedicated to the production of electronic circuit boards, which, in fairness, is a pretty worthwhile cause, so I can understand that. But production of circuit boards is... I thought it was quite high. Like, I remember it being quite large. But I guess it's not. It takes a decently long time to actually produce them. Yeah. Again, this is another reason why this area is, like, on the top of the list, so to speak, for being turned into a factory. A Factorissimo factory. That's absolutely something that we're gonna do. Anyway, let's stop being distracted by everything else and instead start work on sticking these factories down. Okay, so that's 1 belt. We're gonna need transistors, which are here. Transistors, I suppose, can quite comfortably go up this section. Okay. So up here. This might be a little bit unconventional, but we'll give this a shot. We'll see if it works. Okay, let's get you up here. Let's get you in here. And you in there. I mean, it's kind of disruptive and it looks a little bit shitty, but it works, you know, that's for sure. It absolutely does work. And only minor disruption. Wow, that's like, it's not complicated, but it's like, wow, that looks kind of fancy. That's for sure. Okay, transistor belt. There we go, perfect. Now, let's get a whole bunch of these things down. I have no idea how many of these things we're actually going to need. So I'm just going to go with what feels right. And that feels, to me, that feels right, you know? That feels good enough. What is it? Where is it? There. Boom. Perfect. Fuck. Copied the wrong model. Doesn't matter. Alright. I have no idea how long these things actually take to assemble. I presume it's not long, right? 5 seconds. That's nothing. Well, it won't be 5 seconds in this machine. It's, what, 7.5 seconds in this machine because the crafting speed is 0.75, so it'll take longer than that. So it takes 7.5 seconds, but at the same time, that's still, you know, practically nothing. I mean, it's obviously not practically nothing, but it's basically nothing. Like, it's little enough that I'm calling it nothing, so take that as you will. Okay, build me a bunch of just old regular wooden chests. I think that's probably all that we'll really need for now. I don't envision storing shit tons of these things. Also, why am I building 20 wooden chests? That's probably far too many even. There we go. I cut it down to size. Okay. Let's connect you up to the power. Probably over here is better. And we should have some progress, which is great. And that is bit number 1 done. Okay, good stuff. The second bit that we're going to have to worry about is the construction robot tool, which is really easy to build because it only requires steel. But at the same time, it's going to be a little bit annoying because we first need to refine to steel gears, which is, of course, just steel once again. So let's get a belt of steel here, which should be the input for both resources. For fuck's sake. A splitter. What do we need for a splitter? Iron. Really? Where's the nearest iron belt? The nearest iron belt is miles away down here. We haven't extended the iron belt up yet. This is kind of like the advanced materials. It's kind of like we take the basic materials and then we turn them into advanced materials, and only the advanced materials continue onwards. I mean, that's not how it will be. Eventually it'll be all of the belts simultaneously moving, you know, forward, but that's just not the way of the world, you know? It's just not the way of the world. At the moment, anyway. It will change. I guarantee you, it will change. Okay, how do we want to set this up? So this is going to need to come down this way. Okay. Just take that back. This is temporary, this belt. I mean, this belt will be put underground, or these belts will all be put underground. Something will change. It won't look like this forever, trust me. It will not look like this forever. Okie doke. I've had an idea, and the idea is as follows. Since the construction time of these is like super short, like it's 1 second, we can put 2 factories here and then 4 factories here. Right? And these 2 are going to be manufacturing the good old steel gear wheels, and then these ones are going to be manufacturing that. And they're all just going to have the input of steel because everyone needs the input of steel, right? Like, both the steel gears and these things require steel. And we're also going to have inputs on this side as well, because these guys are going to output onto the belt. Actually, they're probably going to output into a chest. How long's 0.5 seconds? I'm going to say no. They're not going to output onto that. Okay, let's have you a little bit less offset, whereas you are going to be onto the other side. Alright, perfect. That's pretty much half the process. Let's get a couple of long-handed inserters to do the outputting of the resources into 4 bins. I built 5, I don't know why. And I said bins, again, I don't know why. Because they're definitely not bins, they're storage chests. I'm sorry for implicating them as bins. And that looks good to me. All we need to do is power it up now, which should be unbelievably easy. There we go. Let's see about this. Let's see if it works. And I'm pretty certain that we should be able to fill all of the demand with just these 2. If we have faster inserters. Yeah, we're gonna need faster inserters on this side as well. Yeah, something like that. Have I done the maths wrong? Don't think I have I? So 2 of these. So you manufacture once every second, you manufacture once every 2 seconds. But do we need 2 gears? Is it 2 gears that we need? Ah, it's 2 gears. Okay, that's where I fucked up. So, we're only ever gonna fill these 2. That's not a problem, actually. Like, we can totally fix that. The way that we fix that is just by swapping this over. Turn that around. And I don't know why I picked it up, because I probably shouldn't have, but there we go. That should make a bit of a difference, right? There we go. Perfect. And now, everyone should constantly be getting the resources that they need. We should see constant production in every single factory. I mean, you know, it's not exactly perfect, but I have a funny feeling that we're gonna have way more of these tool things than I ever thought we could need. Okay, what's the ratio of resources? Is it just 1 to 1 to 1 for a construction robot? I think it's just 1 to 1 to 1. Yeah, it's just 1 to 1 to 1. Perfect. Okay, let's see if we can get the tools and the brains on the same belt. Okay, a little bit of underground belt here. Perfect. There we go. This is a little bit dicey, I'll be honest. But, you know what? It's bloody well gonna work. There we go. That's the ticket. That's the ticket that we were after. Right, along here. This is a problem. This is a problem. That can be fixed. Can be fixed actually remarkably easily. By making this belt go underground. Which means that we can go... In fact, we don't even need to undergroundify this belt. All we need to do is take it back a little bit. And to like here. Yep, that's the place. And that should mean that we don't even really need to worry about this because we'll just continue extending this belt along until like here and then stop it. Because that should be more than enough space to make all of the resources that we really want to make. Wrong way, but mostly fixed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's the ticket, actually. Like, that's pretty much what we ordered. That belt, what is my fucking problem? What is wrong with me? Why can I not just do this? Alright, let's get robots. That's nowhere near enough assembly machines. Why do I not have enough assembly machines here? One more? Yeah, one more. Why not? Alright. Pretty sure we're only gonna need one inserter type each. Like one long-armed inserter and one short-armed inserter. And they can be slow at that because we're gonna make robots at a very, very slow pace. At least to start with. Like, let's be honest. Never happens very fast. Never happens very fast. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. And I need me some more copper. Do we not make... Do you know what use copper to make batteries? Oh, for fuck's sake. We don't make copper to make batteries. Not in this game, anyway. If I zoom out, can I reach copper? I totally can. I was actually closer than I thought, all along. Closer than I thought. We're gonna need a couple of chests. Give me a couple of chests, please, game. That's perfect. Copper for some steel cabling. Here we go. It's working. Oh my god, we make construction robots super, super quick. That's kind of ridiculous, actually. We make them unbelievably quickly. I was not anticipating how quick we were going to make them. I should have probably checked that, actually. But I didn't. I did not. Was perhaps a slight oversight on my part. Well, there we go. We're getting robots. Like, woohoo! We're doing it. We're getting construction robots. We did it. Mission accomplished for this episode, eh? Mission bloody well accomplished. Like, that's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. I mean, how do we get a roboport? Like, where the hell do we get a roboport from? Modular roboports. Roboport Mark 1. For fuck's sake, this is going to be a fucking pain in the ass to make. And especially if we want to automate production of this. Robot antenna. Logistic zone interface. Roboport antenna array Mark 1. Roboport charging pad Mark 1. Roboport hatch door Mark 1. What the fuck? How are we going to make this? Alright, we've got way too many. Way too many assembly machines here. But at least it's scalable, right? Like, if we ever speed up, like, some part of the process, at least it'll work. Sure. Let's go with that. We need more basic electronic components. Why the hell are we not manufacturing shit tons of these? Like, I was sure we had, like, more than enough of them. I was positive. That was one of the things that I thought we had enough of. And at the moment, we've only got, like, what? None. Like, not even a full half belt that is saturated. You're outputting at 100%, and we're still not there. Okay, you need to be not offset. There we go. That should work. That should mean that the belts are just a little bit fuller, actually. Yeah. And in fairness, we are still very, very high in demand for these basic electronic boards, so priority numero uno is here, I guess. It's a little bit of a shame that we couldn't, like, use a splitter system so that half the resources would just straight away get sent out on here, but it's fine, I guess. Like, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it'll have to do. At least we're making a lot of them, right? Like, that's kind of nice. What about if we sped this belt up? That might be a good idea. I don't know if this is going to work, though. I'm thinking that it will. Alright, make me a bunch of fast belt. Which is unusual, because I don't really like committing to fast belt as early as I am. Especially, like, in modded runs, because there's this tendency to just start using fast belt, like, all the time. And using fast belt is super annoying if you've not got the infrastructure to actually make it. Okay, so we should be getting, like, a fully saturated belt of... a near fully saturated belt of these thingamabobbers. Especially on the yellow belt, right? Like, where the hell does it even go? Up this way, up this way. Yeah, okay, so we're basically coming out with almost an entirely full yellow belt of basic electronic components, which I doubt will be enough to satisfy demand up here, but it's not a bad start. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to be able to upgrade those electric assembly machine factory things very, very quickly indeed. Yeah, already loads are siphoned off for this process here. But, well, exactly half are siphoned off for this process. But there should still be some made available for this area. Anyway, ladies and gents, that's going to bring us towards the end of the episode. Thanks very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Potato. This has been Factorio Undefeatable, and I'll see you next time. Bye.